He's punching me in my face at this point, punching me in my eyes. At one point, he tried to poke my eyes out. He's pulling my hair, scratching my neck, just all of that. My clothes were ripped off of me. My boobs were out. I had a romper on. I'll actually like insert a picture of what I look like before all of this happened and what I look like after all my clothes were ripped off of me. So he's on my back at this time, and he's like choking me, saying like, I'll kill you, I'll run you over with this car, like just basically like talking aggressive. He points the gun at me. He shoots me. The one shot that I felt was in my knee, and I completely like dropped to my knees. It literally felt like I was on fire. Like it looked like somebody lit a match and lit me on fire. He grabs a knife and he stabs me multiple times in my scalp, in my head. And he also stabbed me in my neck. This is where this scar comes from.
Welcome back to another episode of Clocked Out Conversations. I'm your host, Fahim, and today we got some more TikTok content. Storytime, my first encounter with domestic violence with my ex-boyfriend, who is now in prison for life, plus 66 years. Lord have mercy. He was beating the hell out of you. I'm not here to waste your time. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more, and let's get into it.
Hey y'all, so I know I came on here and I said that I would give a story time on how I encountered my first encounter with domestic violence with my ex-boyfriend. And like I said, this is probably going to be a couple parts to it. So July the 22nd of 2020, my then, ex-boyfriend, we went to DC to basically celebrate his birthday. We were just gonna like go to a bar and go out for the night or whatever. So drive up to DC, we get to the hotel room, check in, getting dressed for the night, and he asked me to take a picture of him. So we step in the hallway to take the picture, and I saw a female come across his screen. So I take the picture. Then when we get back into the hotel room, I confronted him about it. I asked him, like, who was this? This what you're doing? All of those things. Hold on, let me roll my window up. So then it just starts like a big argument. He's screaming and hollering. I'm arguing back with him. He's basically trying to, flip it back on me and accuse me of, whatever you want to call it. So again, we're still going back and forth, and he throws a chair at me. And at that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm ready to go. So I pack my stuff. We both walk downstairs. We get downstairs, and he pulls off really fast. No, he goes. I think he went to get the car. I think the car was maybe like in a parking garage or something like that. So he goes to get the car, or he pulls off. I don't know, one of those. And I'm standing outside, but I'm texting my friend that I know lives up there, seeing if he could get one of his friends to pick me up and take me back home to Richmond, because I just knew that the drive home was not going to be a peaceful drive home. So as he comes back around, I get in the car, and he snatches my phone out my hand and sees that I'm texting the person asking for a ride. And he just like flips shit. He is cussing me out. He is calling me names. He starts to hit me, screaming at me, calling me the B word, and just, so many degrading things. He's punching me in my face at this point, punching me in my eyes. At one point, he tried to poke my eyes out. He's pulling my hair, scratching my neck, just all of that. So I'm rolling the window down, trying to scream out the window, because people are walking down the street, and I'm trying to scream out the window, and he's like, roll the window up, and like punching me as I'm trying to, roll the window down. So eventually he's able to roll the window up, and he locks it. Then I tried to open the door to, jump out of the car, and he's like snatching me, like, so he's driving and I'm in the passenger seat, so he's like snatching me this way and like tugging and pulling on me, and I'm not able to open the door, and he's locking the doors. And I'm crying, my lips are bleeding, my face is bleeding, my nose is bleeding, I have like scratches everywhere, my clothes are falling off of me because he's like pulling and tugging on me. So we're driving around the city. Eventually I was able to get in the back seat, and he took my purse, my wallet, my laptop, and my school books, because I was in school at this time. I was in school for my bachelor's degree. He throws everything on the highway, and like that broke my heart. Like, I could not believe he threw all of my things on the highway. So he's still cussing at me, he's spitting on me, just being trifling. So he spins me back around to the stuff that he threw on the highway, and he gets out and he gets my purse. And I believe, so yeah, and I think I still had my phone on me at the time. So in the midst of this, I am texting my sister, and I share my location with her. I let her know what's going on, and she's able, to see my location or whatever. And I think I contacted his best friend, and then I contacted his mom, or his best friend contacted his mom, or the mom contacted the best friend, something like that. Basically trying to get his attention so he can, calm down and, not go insane, even though he was already going insane. So we're still driving around, and eventually he throws my phone out in DC. So at this point, I don't have a phone. We're going back to the hotel because he doesn't have his stuff. Before he goes back into the hotel, I'm in the back seat. He gets in the back seat and was like, "Stay right here. You promise you won't go nowhere." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna go anywhere." At the time, obviously, I wanted to get out and I wanted to get help, but my clothes were ripped off of me. My boobs were out. I had a romper on. I'll actually like insert a picture of what I look like before all of this happened and what I look like after all my clothes were ripped off of me. But yeah, everything was ripped off of me, and it was a 7-Eleven right next to the hotel, and I really wanted to go into the 7-Eleven, but I was embarrassed, didn't know what to say, didn't know what I was gonna do, like, all of that. I didn't have a phone. So he actually, before he got out the car to go into the hotel to get his stuff, he got in the back seat, said he would, "You promise you're not gonna go anywhere?" And he starts like crying a little bit, basically apologizing, saying he's sorry, just all of this stuff. And I'm like I'm crying, and I'm in distraught. Like, I don't know, I just can't believe what's going on. And then he punches me in my face again. So he finally goes into the hotel. I'm still in the car, weeping, crying, don't know what to do. He gets back in the car, and we head down 95 South back to Richmond. He's still screaming and yelling at me, asking me all these questions. He continues to turn around and spits in my face. We get off on I think it's the Stafford exit, and he pulls over near a, I want to say it was a tropical smoothie, and I forgot what the other place was, but he pulls over, yanks me out the car, pushes me into these like bushes or whatever, and basically like says to me like, "I'm gonna kill you, and I'll run you over with this car," and just, he's kicking me. He's like, so he's on my back at this time, and he's like choking me, saying like, "I'll kill you, I'll run you over with this car," like just basically like talking aggressive. So I'm actually stopping right here, and then y'all can meet me at part 2. Hey y'all, so this is part 2 on my first encounter with domestic violence with my ex-boyfriend that is now in prison for life plus 66 years. So we get back in the car from the Stafford exit, and he finally drops me off at my home, basically like in the middle of the road at my home. And I forgot to add that when he took me back around to like show me all the stuff that he threw on the highway, I was able to, he got my purse, because my purse had my keys in it. So when he dropped me off at home, I went in the house, put some different clothes on. I didn't have a phone, so I couldn't call anybody, and the closest person that I could get to was his mother's house. So I drove to his mother's house and rang her doorbell. This was like maybe like 3, I don't know, 2 or 3 in the morning. I can't really remember the time, but it was the wee hours of the morning. I get to her house and she looks at me. When she opened the door, she looks at me and damn near falls to her knees crying, like, because she can't believe what her son did to me. My face was so swollen. My lips were busted. I had 2 black eyes. My hair was all over the place. My hair was pulled out. I had so many like marks and scratches and like bruises on my neck. So she brings me in the house trying to comfort me or whatever, so she says. And I then use her phone to call my sister. My sister, you know, she's asked me where I am. I told her where I am, and she sends her husband over to, you know, to come get me, to take me to the hospital or whatever. And at that time, my ex has finally pulled in the driveway of his mom's house, and he just sitting in the car looking pitiful as shit and basically thinking about, you know, the damage he has just done. So my brother-in-law finally gets to the house. He picks me up, and he's taking me to the hospital to, you know, like get checked out and everything. And as I'm leaving out the door, his mom says to me, "Please don't press charges. He didn't mean to do it." I can't say what I want to say because TikTok is gonna flag this, but just know. At the time, I didn't understand, but as time went on, and what I know now and what I understand now, like, you are part of the reason your son is like this. So, my brother-in-law takes me to the hospital. You know, I get evaluated. I end up having to go to, I think it was Chippenham Hospital in south side of Richmond. And basically, state police, they met me at the hospital, and, you know, they did an investigation, evaluation, took pictures of my neck, took pictures of my, you know, my face and everything, all the bruises and marks I had on me. And basically, he was charged with strangulation and charged with assault. So, fast forward, I finally get discharged from the hospital, and he ends up turning himself in, I think, later that day or that following day. And he actually had to he was transported to jail in Stafford, Virginia for 7 days. He was in jail for 7 days. And after those 7 days, during those 7 days, his mom, you know, she was contacting me, basically like checking on me and everything, and, you know, trying to figure out, you know, like what went wrong, what happened, basically, you know, apologizing, and, you know, just all of that stuff. But I'm not doing this video for sympathy or anything. I'm basically just doing this to, one, share my story, get my voice heard, and to basically let other women know that, you know, domestic violence is real and you're not alone in this situation. Like, you will really be surprised of what someone is going through behind closed doors. So yeah, I'll see you guys in part 3. Okay, so this is part 3 of my first encounter with domestic violence with my ex-boyfriend. So I left off with, you know, he went to jail for 7 days, and, you know, his mom was reaching out to me, trying to check on me, you know, all of that stuff. So finally, he was granted bond, and a restraining order was basically, you know, put out on him. So, you know, no contact, you know, none of that stuff. So once he gets out, I get a phone call from a private number, and it's him. Basically, he calls me to apologize, you know, continues to tell me he's sorry, and, you know, he'll never do that again, and he hopes that, you know, I forgive him, and yada yada yada, just, you know, going down this hole of nothing, basically. And as time goes on, we do continue to talk a little bit. It's still rocky. It's still, you know, it's still a lot going on. He's still trying to like apologize, and he had the nerve to tell me I feel like Chris Brown in this situation. Like a hot ass mess. So you know, like I said, as time goes on, you know, he's still, you know, trying to butter me up and trying to buy me all these things and send me gifts and all of that. And he's starting to get mail from the court basically saying that, you know, he needs to appear in court for these charges, and same as me. And he calls me one day before he had to go up to court and was like, I hope you're not showing up to court. You know, I have kids. You know, I'm the only provider for my kids. You know, just basically trying to get me not to show up to court because, you know, he didn't want to be found guilty on the charges. So he actually threatens me multiple times saying that, you know, I'll kill you if you come to court. You know, I'm going to do something to you if you come to court. Just saying all these crazy, wild things to me. And if I'm being honest, I never showed up to court because I knew what he was capable of. Like, prior to this whole situation that happened in Washington, D.C., actually, this was after the situation in Washington, D.C., when we were kind of still, like, seeing each other here and there, whatever. He got mad at me for something and chased me down the steps at his mom's house with a gun. So, this is what I'm saying. Like, I knew what he was capable of. I knew that he was not sorry. I knew that he would do something crazy to me. Like he's already done. Like, basically beating me up from D.C. to Richmond, punching me in my eye, spitting on me, pulling my hair out. Like, I knew what he was capable of. So, yeah. Basically, you know, was just threatening me, trying not to get me to come to court.
Guys, I'm wondering what's this huge gash on her neck right here. Did he stab her? Because that's what it's looking like. That don't look like a birthmark to me. But let's keep on going.
And a year and maybe a month later, no, actually not even a year later, maybe about 10 months later, that's when I encountered my second domestic violence situation with him, where he shot me 4 times, stabbed me multiple times in my head, in my neck, and killed my friend that was with me. And that's going to be a separate story time. So I'm going to end this one right here. This is a trigger warning. I probably should have said that in the beginning, but, you know, if you made it this far, you know, I appreciate you. I hope this helps you. Send it to a friend, send it to someone that you know is going through, you know, a domestic violence situation. You know, I'm always happy to share my story. I'm always happy to help anyone that I can. And, you know, I learned so much from this, and I'm still learning so much from this. It's not easy, but it's something that I feel like I had to go through. I didn't understand why, and some days I still don't understand why. But yeah, and I also wrote a book called I Will Survive. It's a personal story on domestic violence by me, Sir Lisa Collins, and it's available on my website at www.women.org, and it's also available on Amazon. So yes, I hope to see you guys in my second story time. Y'all, so this is story time part 4 on how May 2nd, 2021 changed my life forever. So May 2nd, 2021, I went out with a group of friends. We went bar hopping, mingle, or whatever. At the end of the night, me and my friend went back to my house. We were getting ready for bed, and we both were in the bathroom, and I heard a big noise, and I looked at my friend like, you know, what was that? What was that sound? And he said he didn't know. So I was like, all right, well, I'm about to go, you know, see what that was. So as I'm getting ready to come out of the bathroom, my ex-boyfriend is busting through my bathroom door. And I completely like scream. He has one slipper on. He looks like he's high off of whatever, not sure what it is. Looks like he's high off of something, and he has a gun in his hand. So I'm like screaming, crying, just, I don't know what to do right now. So he starts like saying stuff like, what are you doing? And just, he's going crazy at this point. So he points the gun at me. He shoots me. The one shot that I felt was in my knee, and I completely like dropped to my knees. It literally felt like I was on fire. Like, it looked like somebody lit a match and lit me on fire. And my friend was beside me, and he was trying to like pull me to him, like basically protect me. And my ex-abuser shot him multiple times, and he basically was telling him, like, as he was shooting him, like, stop, like, chill out, just stop. And he just kept shooting. The gun then got jammed, and he tried to put another clip back in, but obviously it wouldn't work. So he started to beat me in my head with the gun. He realized that, I was still screaming and crying and, begging him to stop. He then snatches me down my stairs to my kitchen, head first down a flight of stairs. I'm like grabbing onto like the wall, trying to like brace from, going down with him. So he drags me, through my living room into my kitchen, and he grabs the knife block that I had in my kitchen, and he says, BITCH, I'm gonna kill you. And he keeps saying it. And as he's saying that, he grabs a knife and he stabs me multiple times in my scalp, in my head. And he also stabbed me in my neck. This is where this scar comes from. So, and he's on my back at this point. So as he's doing that, I'm hearing, like, I can hear sirens. And as I hear the sirens, I'm like, the police are coming, just stop, just go. He literally stops in the middle of stabbing me and runs out of my front door.
Y'all, this man is crazy. This man is crazy, man. I don't even know if this qualifies as just domestic abuse. This is murder, right? This is murder. He actually murdered Buddy. Like, this is beyond just domestic abuse. Buddy he's a psychopath. Yeah, man. I'm glad she got up away from him. Yeah, let's keep it going.
So I'm like covered in blood at this point. Like, I'm literally covered in blood. So I'm trying to get help as well, because I'm still, conscious. I pull myself up on my wall where my alarm system was, and I'm pressing like the emergency button, but it's just, I'm guessing that it's just not working. Like, I can't, maybe I don't have enough strength, or maybe it just wasn't working at that point. But eventually I fall back to the ground, and I crawl to my front door, and I pull myself up on the door. I walk outside, and my neighbor is like, he ran away, but the police are coming. So I actually walked to the neighbor beside him, and I rung her doorbell, and she like answered me like through the ring doorbell, and was like, what's going on. And I was telling her, like, I need help. She could clearly see I was bleeding from head to toe, but she wouldn't come to the door. So as I was walking back to my house, the police are arriving. I forgot to add, when I went back to look at ring doorbell footage, it literally looked like an angel was carrying me when I was walking out of my door to get help. But as I'm walking back over, the police, ambulance, everybody's arriving, and they, see that I'm in distress. They come lay me on my front lawn, and ask me questions as far as like, what's my name, what's the person's name that did it, where does he live, just ask me all these questions. And I didn't know then, but they were literally doing a dying declaration because, basically I was bleeding from head to toe. Like, they didn't know if I was going to make it or not. So I remember getting into the ambulance, and they're like cutting I had waist beads on, I had rings on, and a necklace, and they're basically cutting everything off of me, and they shocked me back to life. I felt like this big, like, I don't know, they basically shocked me back to life. I don't know the proper terminology for what they use to shock me back to life. So I wake up in the ICU with a tube down my throat, a cast on my left arm, my legs wrapped up. I had a bag connected to my neck where I had to have surgery at. There was a bag full of blood connected to my neck. My hair all over the place because they had to put like stitches where the stab wounds were. I had staples in my forehead where he beat me in the head with the gun. I was in the ICU for 3 days, and according to the doctors, I was going to be unresponsive for a couple days. But God literally helped me through it all. I woke up maybe I think like the following day after everything happened. So I was in ICU for a total of, I believe, 2 or 3 days. Then they transferred me to another room, and I was in the hospital for about 5 days altogether, I believe. He actually was on the run for 2 days. They found him, I want to say, I don't remember exactly, what county he was in, but basically he tried to kill himself after he did what he did. After he killed my friend, and after he shot me multiple times and stabbed me multiple times, he tried to kill himself. He ran his car out in front of a tractor trailer, and the tractor trailer ran off the road, and he ran off the road. And from my knowledge, he broke a lot of bones in his body, damaged his eye really bad. He if I recall, I believe he was on life support for a while in the hospital.
Guys, nothing about this situation is funny. But let's keep it real. Buddy thought he was about to get away with this. He thought he was about to go ahead, take his life, and everything was going to be smooth. Nah, buddy. You're going to be in prison with broken bones. Broken bones. Don't nobody care about none of that. Buddy, you just killed her homie. And then almost killed her. This sister got a gash on her neck. Don't nobody care about you running in no tractor trailer. You about to be in prison with broken bones, my guy. And deservingly so. Let's keep on going.
And then I'm still in the hospital getting care, and just basically having the investigators come ask me what happened, what went on, do I know what provoked this, do I know how he got in my house. And at the time, I didn't know how he had gotten into my house until I found out from the investigators that, mind you, this was at like 2 something in the morning. He literally scaled the back of my house, came in through my back gate, climbed on the second story of my house, and broke in through my bedroom window. One slipper. Mind you, the back of my house was nothing but woods. Let that sink in. So yeah, I am going to end this part right here, and I'll come back with another part to like I guess I'll do like a story time on how like court went and all of that, but that'll come later. Thank you guys for watching. Visit my website, www.womencee.org, to purchase my book. And also, I just dropped a limited edition of my book. So basically, it has more, insight and information that I wasn't able and didn't put into my first book. So I love if you guys check that out, and I'll see you in the next story time. Hey y'all, so this is Storytime Part 5. I always say I remember the first court date and I remember the last one. But what people don't see is everything that happened in between.
Guys, I don't mean to keep pausing, but this is sad, bro. Look at this gash on her neck. That's deep. That's a deep gash. That's not some regular, like, bro, that's not some regular, like, just little slice. That's a deep gash, bro. I see why they were trying to collect information for your death, because that don't look like something you're supposed to survive with. That's crazy. Y'all, go buy her book. Let's keep on going.
So like the months of the schedule being messed up, or hearings being messed up, stuff like that, and everything, having to be rescheduled, delayed, challenges, and just a whole bunch of frustration. The first one was in September of 2021, and the last one wasn't until it was like the Monday after Thanksgiving. Between those 2 days, my life was stuck in this like never-ending loop of court dates. Every time I thought we were finally going to get somewhere, something would happen. A lawyer would request more time, a motion would get filed, the judge would be unavailable, or like suddenly there would be some type of reason that we couldn't move forward. I would mentally prepare myself that the date would get pushed back again, because I was always so used of, something happening. I remember sitting in the courtroom reviewing the evidence before one of the final court dates, staring at photos, wishing I could unsee everything that, was being showed to me, reading reports that made me relive the worst moment of my life. Also hearing audio and seeing video that made my chest tighten and my hands shake, literally. You want to believe you can stay strong, but it's like reopening a wound every single time. And all of this wasn't just fighting in court. I was literally fighting to protect my peace. My ex-abuser kept trying to contact me. He would email me from the jail. He would email me from prison. He would get his friends to reach out to me. His family would harass me, and every time that happened, I had to document it and notify authorities, which meant I had to constantly relive what I was trying to heal from. And the harassment didn't stop there. Like I said, his family joined in. They would message me, make comments, reach out to my family members, all of that. Like, eventually I had to shut down my social media just to breathe. Last court date came, it just felt like I had aged for years. Like, it wasn't just showing up that day. It was about surviving everything in between. Like, I can recall my mom died July of 2026, and my phone rang, and it was just like a number that came up, and I answered it, and basically it was my ex-abuser on the phone. Like, he wouldn't say anything, and like I kept saying like hello, and I just kept saying hello, hello, hello. Nobody was saying anything. So once I hung the phone up, I got a text from this number, this girl pretending to be his cousin. She basically texts me and says, oh, he didn't mean to call you. He's having some issues right now, not really remembering things. Like, it was just just a big ass lie. Like, if you're having trouble remembering stuff, how do you know to call my phone? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I guess somebody saw on Facebook that, you know, my mom had passed and they relayed the message to him. So he felt the need to call me. And then we had to go to court in September of 2021. And after court or whatever, he emailed me from jail, basically saying, oh, I miss you. I'm so sorry about what happened. I still love you. I still wish we were able to do such and such and such. Like, just going on about stuff. And it's just like, sir, you just unalived somebody and you attempted to unalive me and you're in jail. Like, we have nothing to talk about. Why are you still trying to reach out to me? Like,
Bruh, are you kidding me? This mug tried to reach out to her from prison. Emailed her. How you email in prison? How you email in prison? And reach out to her after you just killed somebody. And almost killed her, talking about you wanted to call her because her mom just passed. You almost just made her pass. What are you talking about? Come on, let's keep going.
make it make sense. And then the following day, he sent me another email. So, you know, I'm having to get the detectives involved. You know, they're basically having to put him in front of a judge again because he's clearly, you know, breaking the rules and stuff. And then a couple months pass. I want to say like maybe a year passes, and I'm at work and I get a call from this like random number. And when I answer the phone, it says you have a collect call or something like that from an inmate. And I hung the phone up. So as soon as I hung the phone up, I contacted victim witness, and they basically did their investigation. And maybe like a couple days later, they confirmed that, you know, it was him calling me from prison. Like, when I say, like, he harassed me so much, he tried to contact me so much after all this had happened, like, just sick. Like, I don't even know. Obsessive, sick, obsessive, a narcissist. Like, he was literally the devil. And then finally, it was the Monday after Thanksgiving of 2022. This was maybe a couple weeks before I was getting ready to graduate college with my bachelor's degree. I remember it like so vividly. This was sentencing. My friend that got unalive, some of his family members were there. My ex-abuser, none of his family showed up, but a couple of his homeboys came, and then it was some of my family members. And the sentencing lasted about 2 hours, and it was just because, you know, they had to show evidence again. They let my friend that passed away, his family, take the stand and, you know, give remarks and, you know, stuff like that. Some of my sister, she took the stand and, you know, said what she wanted to say. And at the end, they literally told him that he had life plus 66 years, and he lost his shit. Like, he tried to flip the table. They had to get the freaking the sheriff officers in there to like tackle him. Like, his friends stormed out the courtroom, and I'm just like, did you think that you were gonna get 2 days? I mean, you unalived somebody, and you attempted to unalive me. You broke in my house. Like, what did you think was going to happen? But yeah, I did want to share the other part of that story time. And like I said, I don't share this for sympathy. I just, you know, I share my story because one is healing. It helps so many people. You know, you'll be surprised at how many people are going through, you know, some of these events, or, you know, some of the same thing that I have gone through. And, you know, a lot of people inbox me, a lot of people reach out to me with like, they want suggestions, or, you know, just to simply say they're praying for me. And, you know, it inspires others, and I am here for a reason, and I know God gave me a second chance to life for a reason. I hope to see you guys in the next story time. If you would like to read my book, I also have my original book, and then I also have a limited edition of my original book. So basically, it's more information in it that I couldn't put in my first book, because I was still going through trial and just certain information I couldn't disclose at the time. But you can get it at Barnes & Noble. It's also available on Amazon, or if you would like a personal signed copy from me, you can visit my website at womenseewomen.org, and I'm also going to put it on the screen. Until next time.
So, what do you guys think about this story time? I think that guy was a madman. I think that he got exactly what he deserved. They should have put him under the prison, frankly. He completely abused this. I mean, that's not even abuse. That's attempted murder. That's beyond abuse. This is attempted murder. He not even attempted. He actually murdered somebody. He murdered somebody, almost murdered her, and broke into her home. And he talking about he flipped out in the prison. Man, don't nobody care about you flipping out like she said. What did you think he was gonna get? A week? 2 days? What did you think he was gonna get, bruh? What did you think he was gonna get? You went ahead, you broke in her house, you almost killed her, you killed her homie. There's no way you're walking out of this prison, or you're walking out of this courthouse just perfectly fine. So no, I think that he got what he deserved. I hope that she heals the way that she is supposed to, mentally. And condolences goes out to the brother that lost his life trying to defend her. Because he didn't have to do that, but he did because he was a good friend. But he ended up dying in the process, which is very, very, very unfortunate. But let me know down in the comments below. Do you guys agree with me that it's a wonderful thing that she was able to get away from him and was able to heal, or is going through healing? Or do you guys think that I don't even know. Shit. I don't know no other side. Frankly, it's only one side. I think that he got what he deserved, and anybody who thinks otherwise, I think you got some rethinking to do. But thank you for tuning into this Clocked Out Conversation. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.